Reality fades back into view. I'm looking at neither the endless, eroding darkness, nor the visions of my past, but the sea of blood, spreading in all directions. I'm standing at the top of the observation tower, outside the door. I've returned, back in Morgana's world, her bitter, hate-filled, curse-fueled world.
To tell you the truth, I didn't see this coming. This is my mansion, my domain. She was supposed to be locked up, but it would seem my will is not as absolute as I had thought. What would you call that? The power of love. Is that what allowed this to happen? How trite. Where's the magic, the miracle?
I can think of one other reason she was able to escape. And it's the only way we'll be able to find the power we need to cast off the darkness of this house. But first, before we do anything else, we must open this door.
Whatever nonsense that woman filled your head with, it certainly seems to have put some fight into those eyes. Well, good for you, my dear. A little confidence boost doesn't erase the fact that you were on the ground, crawling through the filth like a worm, tears streaming down your face as you tried to ignore what lay before you. A little self-esteem isn't going to make you any less helpless when you step through that door.
But that won't stop me from trying. I'm done acting like you're some inevitability, some force of nature. It's time for me to take a stand, Morgana. Hype! Also, I'm pretty stuffy today, coming off of a hefty cold, so if I sound weird, that's why. The air around the door has a distinct chill to it as I place my hand against the wood surface. My arms, once bloody and lacerated, are now whole again. I can feel my entire body, everything back in its rightful place. I take in a breath, lift my head, focus my gaze on the door, and push it open. Resting on the back of my hand, I can feel another palm, soft and warm. Through the single window sitting high atop the wall shines a ray of light. A black butterfly flutters within the beam. Its form is indistinct, wavering like a mirage as it slowly descends to the tower floor. And then, from within the darkness, a person appears. Face reveal. Is that you, Morgana?
How does it feel to finally meet the real thing, my dear?
I knew you were young, but you really are still a child. Having heard her tale, I knew she died still a girl. I know she died still a girl. And I know she came to bear so much hatred for the world. But knowing and seeing are two very different things. The sight of her bony, adolescent body is a painful reminder that she never had a chance to know happiness, to know adulthood, before being robbed of her life.
I had assumed monster would be your first reaction. With a face And a body like this.
Oh, come now, Morgana. You know Michelle.
How very sweet of you, Michelle. So tell me, what exactly do you mean to do now that you're here? Your ultimate goal was, as I understood it, to take Giselle back. But she's no longer here for me to return to you. She broke out of my cage and exhausted what remained of her soul to show herself to you. I cannot perceive even a trace of her presence any longer, so I presume her soul shattered, dissipated into nothing.
No, she's right beside me. She's right here beside me.
There, let me try that again.
No, she's right here beside me.
Is that so? You seem to believe as much anyway. Which only makes your presence here a bigger mystery. Ah, I know. You want revenge. I made you miserable while you were alive, and I continue to torment you in death. You entrusted me with Giselle's life, and I used her for my own ends. You must despise me. Hatred fills you. You want to curse me, to kill me. My death could well mean the end of all this. Shall I grant you that wish?
She flicks a finger, and the next second, a long sword clatters to the floor at my feet.
Take the blade in your hands, and like the knight of old who executed the witch, pierce my heart with it. Do now what should have happened then. You always wanted to be a knight, didn't you? Go on, pick it up. Show me your revulsion, my dear.
Morgana, I do have a reason for being here. I came to save you.
Did you hit your head on the way up? You came to save who?
I spent so long trying to look away, when I should have been trying to look deeper. To tell you the truth, your constant clattering, your constant chattering in the darkness evoked more than annoyance in me. I empathized with your loneliness. I bear no hatred for you. It was my despair that brought you back to life, so that makes it my responsibility to end this.
My own wish has given me all the redemption I need, my dear. Or should I be expecting another self-righteous lecture about how hatred does you no good? Brilliant, Michelle. Brilliant. Do you have any idea how absurdly presumptuous you're being? Trying to force your idea of redemption onto someone who has no interest in it.
Whoa! If the tale you showed me was the whole truth, then I would have said you could revile those heartless men as much as you pleased. But I refuse to believe that's the whole story. The men I saw beyond the first 3 doors had genuine concerns and worries. They felt things, real human emotions, even if those things ultimately led them down a path of destruction. Wanting to do something nice for the one you care about, being disgusted at things you've done, hiding your urges from those around you. You certainly couldn't call them good men, but they were real people with real conflicts.
So you're saying I'm lying? Well, I can't say I blame you. Who would believe the word of a witch?
I don't think you falsified your account, Morgana. The tragedy, no, the grisly reality you described. I don't doubt any of that happened. You wouldn't be here otherwise. But I've learned something in my years. Reality exists from more than one perspective. I can't tell you how vindicating this was for me, man. For what felt like half my life by the point I first read this, I felt like I was going insane, being surrounded by people who refused to consider more than one perspective, who were uncomfortable, daring to humanize terrible people, because they're afraid that, well, if that person's human, then what am I capable of, you know? It's uncomfortable to get into those weeds, but, you know, averting your eyes from that does you no good.
That doesn't change what happened. That two-faced young man deceived me. The beast severed my arm, and the greedy, power-hungry lord used me for his own personal gain.
Events by themselves do not tell the whole story.
Yep.
Only when you take into account their circumstances, what they thought and felt, their perspectives, only then can you say you've reached the truth.
Your point being? Are you going to march down to where their souls are and ask them for their perspective? Don't waste your breath. They'll only tell you what benefits themselves the most.
Then we do it our way. We open the door to your past.
And if I refuse? This is my domain, my world. It operates in accordance to my will. The door won't open unless I allow it to.
Were you aware, Morgana, that I recovered my first memory in front of a mirror?
You what?
The same mirror Giselle used to practice her smile. And in all those hundreds of years, bits of her memory came to reside within it. Every time she stood before that mirror, she had me in her heart. And next, I saw one of my own memories play out in my bedchamber. It was the first day after we opened the windows, when she let the morning sun into my room. That day was a turning point in my life.
And why are you telling me this?
Because it means this world doesn't belong only to you. It's also hers, and mine. And that is why she was able to break free. Your wish is, without question, the most powerful of anyone's here, and you have more authority over this place than anyone else. There is no denying your position as master of this mansion. But Giselle and I, we too have influence over this domain. I was the one who resurrected you, and she who served as your guide. So the door will appear, whether or not it is your will. Their souls reside here as well. They may spin convenient tales, but the memories ingrained upon their souls can tell no lies. All the pieces are on the board. The door will open.
Say the door does open. What does that change? Nothing those men have thought or felt can take back what they did to me. This rotting, broken creature they turned me into. I don't care what was going through their heads. They will never have my forgiveness. My hatred is unwavering. My wish will not be undone so easily. Their souls shall suffer for all eternity.
Before we begin, Morgana, let's get one last lingering question out of the way.
And what might that be?
Who the white-haired girl is.
That's your lingering question? We've already established.
That was you, Morgana.
So in a desperate plea to deny you came back as a woman, you're trying to make me into her. That is perhaps the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. That was you, my dear. Don't avert your eyes. You must face reality.
I'm not averting my eyes, and I'm not in denial. I have faith. Faith that I only ever made it back to this mansion once, when I awoke in the rocking chair beside the fireplace.
Ha! Nevertheless, that hardly justifies accusing me of being that foolish girl. How could you possibly think I was her? Never have I not been present in these walls. Not even while she was alive and in the claws of tragedy. My hair is not white, nor are my eyes red. And look at this horrid, festering face. How could I ever become her?
How your soul appears is irrelevant in this case, Morgana. I will uncover the truth about you. Things even you don't know. And if I can show you that you were in fact the white-haired girl, in that moment will your reality be rewritten.
If you're so confident, then be my guest. Find out for yourself just how little you're capable of.
Blackness fills the observation tower once more. Morgana fades into the distance, leaving me alone in the dark stream. It's a darkness I've seen, felt, and been consumed by numerous times since arriving at the mansion. But this time, I welcome it, praying that beyond it lies a truth with the power to release all from the house's grip. This next tale has no narrator. I won't sit back and listen as someone recounts the path of fate for me. No, I have to find the path for myself this time. I don't know what awaits me beyond the black, but no matter what it may be, so long as I have the power to provide redemption, I must never put down my sword. Now, let us open the door. The final door. Again, the music ebbing and flowing with perfect timing. Here we go. The final door. Who knows when? I brought you some food. You have to eat something. You barely touched your food yesterday. Come on, please. Just leave it there. Her hands aren't bound. She can eat whenever she pleases. But she's not going to last much longer. The boy has a point. If she won't eat, we lose our supply of blood. Oh, I was going to say food. If she won't eat, we lose our supply. Oh my god. The boy has a point. If she won't eat, we lose our supply of blood. That's not what I meant. Leave it there. Well, we'll be back. My I felt something seeing this new, wholly new fucking sprite piece of art. Where I know what a sprite. It's not actually a sprite. It's just a colloquial sprite. Okay, seeing this new art of this character so late in this game. Ah, unbelievable. Sorry. Mucusy.
Do you really have to go?
Yeah, things are pretty hectic right now.
And when do you suppose you'll be back?
Tomorrow, same time as today.
And you'll have enough time to talk then?
Her voice is really hard with my stuff. Nose.
Will you?
Yeah.
Are you hiding something from me? You're acting kind of funny.
You're my sister. I wouldn't keep anything from you.
You're not yourself, though.
What's so different about me?
Well, you're not acting much like a prince.
Right, of course. Don't worry, I'm still your prince, same as always. Good night, Nellie, my princess. Yay. Gonna blow my nose. How did I end up in this mess? I never wanted this. All I wanted was a quiet life. Someone get me out of here. Take this thing somewhere far away. Tell me it's not all my fault. Oh God, I'm begging you. Just make it all go away. Someone. Anyone. Get me out of here. Well.
Look! The stars! They're beautiful.
Well, it's day for night, so I don't know about that.
Though with it so bright out, I worry someone might see us.
Everyone's long gone.
I hope so.
Are you ashamed?
A little, but I still want to be with you.
I've forgotten her voice. It's sounding like Amy to me. Maybe they were similar, I don't know. Have you ever considered leaving the convent?
You can't just stop being a nun, you know. It's not that simple. I've made vows, sworn my life to the service of God.
I was not aware. I don't know much about this land's traditions.
If I were to leave the church, it would have to be in my next life. I'd like to be a normal girl, lead a normal life. Get married, have kids, and before I know it, I'm an old lady, thinking, it was an uneventful life, but it was the best I could have asked for. That's my dream.
That sounds very peaceful.
I hope we can be together in our next lives, too. Have a nice, quiet life together. It'll be a city on the water, looking out over a beautiful, glimmering emerald sea. The blue sky spreading as far as the eye can see. The sound of the seabirds squalling by the port. The two of us, sitting shoulder to shoulder, just looking out over the city. Doesn't that sound wonderful?
It certainly does. I would love that. The Harvest Festival. On the day of the festival. Ridiculous, this game. 3 days until her